Inside these factories, nothing is built for attention. Nothing exists for speed. Everything exists because failure is not allowed. These systems are not impressive by design. They are calm. They are quiet. They are heavy with responsibility. From the moment you enter, scale becomes unavoidable. Not dramatic scale, operational scale. The kind that overwhelms human presence without diminishing it. Steel frames stand fixed, not flexible. Pipelines follow logic, not convenience. Every route is intentional. Every path has been decided long before the first machine powered on. Nothing rushes here. Nothing waits unnecessarily. Movement happens because it must. Stillness exists because it is safer. Human figures remain small, not unimportant, just correctly sized. They observe more than they touch. They supervise more than they command. This environment is designed for continuity, not reaction, not heroics. Continuity. Multiple systems operate side by side, identical in construction, identical in behavior. Redundancy is not backup, it is expectation. If one path fails, another already exists, already ready, already aligned. No alarms sound because alarms are not the goal. Calm indicators are. Steady signals are. Silence is. What leaves this place does not announce itself. Output moves forward without pause. Beyond these walls, other systems depend on it completely. They do not know its name. They do not need to. End users never see urgency because urgency was removed here. Dependency remains invisible by design. When everything works, nothing draws attention. Monitoring does not wait for trouble. It watches trends, not spikes, patterns, not moments. The system adjusts before deviation becomes visible, before humans would even think to react. Corrections happen quietly, automatically, without permission, without ceremony. Even failure is anticipated, simulated, contained. Parallel systems stand ready without needing to prove themselves. Trust is engineered, not declared. Nothing here exists to shine. This factory exists so nothing ever happens. And that seriousness begins much earlier than most people imagine. Long before assembly, long before motion, it begins with refusal. At the entry point, materials do not arrive. They are questioned, screened, measured against standards that do not negotiate. Time does not matter here. Approval does. Crates remain sealed until systems decide. Humans do not rush the process. They confirm it. Authorization moves before materials ever do. Surfaces are exposed fully. No shadows hide flaws. No lighting flatters defects. If something is wrong, it is meant to be seen. Materials wait, sometimes for hours, sometimes longer. Stillness is intentional. The system pauses by design. Every batch is isolated, categorized, separated physically. Nothing touches what it should not. Rejection paths are already prepared. Certification is not symbolic. It is measurable, stamped, etched, logged. Dimensions are checked against limits, not averages. Margins are narrow, unforgiving. Anything outside exits quietly. There is no discussion, no repair here. Failure is removed, not fixed. The system protects itself without emotion. Approved materials move forward without celebration. Uniformity is success. Nothing stands out. Nothing draws focus. Restricted zones enforce discipline physically. Air pressure stabilizes. Environment locks in. Human access reduces further. Machines handle materials gently, precisely, repeatedly. Contact is calculated, contamination is eliminated before it can exist. Temperature holds, humidity holds, stability is manufactured deliberately. Materials align and wait again. Exact spacing, exact orientation. No improvisation. Only when everything confirms readiness does permission advance. Not trust, permission. Assembly tools appear ahead, inactive, prepared, waiting. Nothing has been built yet, and already reliability has been decided. Because systems do not collapse due to one mistake, they collapse because discipline failed early, quietly, unnoticed. Here, discipline is enforced before motion begins. so that when assembly finally starts, it does not need hope. It already has certainty. And that certainty now moves forward into a space where precision replaces preparation and responsibility becomes permanent. Assembly does not accelerate once it begins. It narrows. The space feels quieter, not emptier. Larger, but more controlled. Every platform is fixed. Every position permanent. Nothing here is temporary enough to forgive error. Tools rest exactly where they belong, aligned, calibrated, untouched. Hands do not reach for them. Systems verify readiness first. Workstations exist for one task only, not convenience, not speed. Sequence is locked before motion is allowed. No step can be skipped. No shortcut survives structure. Core components arrive individually, never together. Each is guided into position by geometry, not force. Metal meets metal without persuasion. Alignment happens because design demands it. Humans watch data, not parts. Numbers matter more than movement. Torque rises slowly, evenly, stops exactly where it should, not one unit beyond. Nothing is retightened, nothing is guessed. Every value is recorded, remembered. Verification follows immediately. Spacing, depth, angle. If anything is wrong, everything stops. But nothing is wrong here. Locks engage, movement ends. The foundation accepts weight without complaint. From this moment forward, everything depends on what just happened. Stillness confirms correctness. Secondary components arrive next. Each assumes the others may fail. Redundancy is not theoretical, it is physical, built into structure. Seals compress uniformly. Sensors confirm continuity. No cable crosses another. No tension is left to age into stress. Humans approve logic. Machines correct micro-deviations silently. Nothing visible changes. Everything improves. When the assembled core stands complete, no one reacts. No signal marks success. Readiness simply exists. Because assembly was never the goal. Proof is. Testing begins by isolating the system from everything else. Barriers close. Interfaces activate. Baselines are recorded calmly. Limits are set beyond real-world expectations. Not to impress, to break things safely. Load increases smoothly. Sensors respond instantly. Trends matter more than moments. The system adjusts before imbalance becomes stress. Heat rises. Pressure follows. Nothing shifts. Nothing deforms. Time replaces force. Endurance becomes the test. Then failure is introduced on purpose. One subsystem is pushed too far. Warnings appear without panic. Isolation begins automatically. The system reroutes around the problem. Output never stops. Redundancy assumes responsibility without ceremony. Recovery happens without shutdown. Reintegration follows without spike. The system remembers what happened. It learns. Emergency scenarios escalate faster. Surges arrive without warning. Detection triggers instantly. Defense activates before reaction could exist. Nothing waits for permission. Nothing hesitates. Load normalizes. Alarms disengage. Calm returns immediately. Stress continues longer, harder, sustained. And still, the system holds. Eventually, pressure is released deliberately, gradually. No rebound, no resistance. Testing ends without announcement. Status shifts quietly. Ready replaces test. Nothing looks different. That is the proof. Deployment does not involve movement. It involves connection. Interfaces align. Authorization travels digitally. Control extends outward while the system remains exactly where it is. Live links stabilize. Endpoints confirm readiness. No switch is flipped dramatically. Load transfers without surge. Activation passes unnoticed. Inside the factory, nothing celebrates. Outside, nothing changes. And that is success. Monitoring continues. Data returns constantly. Humans observe trends. The system works for others now. Redundancy waits patiently, idle but alert. Nothing is wasted. Time passes. Nothing happens. Night arrives. Lighting shifts. Operation does not. Automation governs. Responsibility never sleeps. Minor variations appear. The system compensates instantly. No alerts interrupt the calm. End users remain unaware. They experience only normality. They never think about dependency. They never have to. Multiple systems draw stability from the same source, all equally supported, none prioritized emotionally. Logs update. Routine language fills records. No anomalies demand stories. Inside the factory, human presence fades further. Trust replaces inspection. And eventually, the most important truth becomes clear. These systems are not heroic. They are disciplined. They do not exist to be seen. They exist to disappear into structure. If they were noticeable, something would already be wrong. Their greatest achievement is absence. Absence of crisis. Absence of interruption. Absence of attention. The work leaves no trace, no signature, no applause. Life continues normally because somewhere, quietly, something is holding the line. No ending is announced. Nothing concludes because nothing failed. And in systems designed to prevent collapse, that silence is the only proof that matters.